The Quench, where you ask, we answer.
Wow. Welcome to this exciting, expository episode of The Quench, because this is where you ask and we answer. And the good thing is that we don't just answer. We don't just give an answer. We give authentic, we give real, we give timely, we give answers that can be backed on. This is The Quench. My name is Munene David, and tutakuwa tunaandamana pamoja nawe for the next 45 minutes hivi, and I tell you ya kwamba you'll not regret this time. Why? Because leo tunaongea mambo mazito. Leo tunaongea issues mental health, mental wellness among our people, among vijana, among wazee, in schools, in colleges, out there, in the workplace. We have many issues, mental health. And let me tell you something. Now, this is the knowledge check. Yeah, that is now in the knowledge check. Did you know that as of last year, that was 2020, as of 2020 July, 1 in every 10 people, was an estimation of about 1 out of every 10 people was suffering from mental related illnesses, common mental disorders. And now the bad thing about it, what makes it even more grievous, is that number increases to 1 in every 4 people of the people seeking outpatient, that's medical facilities. So, those services. Now, this necessitates that we have this conversation. Because let me tell you something, people out there are suffering. Right here we have an audience. Karibuni sana. Yeah, how are you? Yeah, yes, I would like you to help me to welcome the audience right back at home. Yeah, let them welcome them. Yes. And I know that we will be asking their questions right here. Is that so? Yeah, tutahakikisha kwamba wewe uliye nyumbani, the question that you have, uwe ni kijana, uwe ni mzee, uwe ni mama, whoever you are, let me tell you something that right here on this platform, we'll be asking that pertinent question that you have. Those issues that we have, we'll be handling them here right in The Quench. Now, I want you to help me welcome the panelists. Yeah, welcome them. The panelists today. Yeah, kwa sababu tuko na mambo, tuko na watu ambao watatusaidia to navigate through this speaker man giant ama ni elephant in the room. I don't know. Is it in the room or is it in the country? This elephant. Now we are going to see that. Now let me start with my immediate left. Let me now kindly introduce yourself. Yeah. You can use this camera. Okay. Yeah, tell us your name and or rather tell us who you are and what you do.
Okay, so thank you very much, Munene. My name is Dr. Elizabeth Wangare, and my background is in psychology, more specifically, clinical psychology.
Wow.
Yeah, so I am a clinical.
So that's a clinical psychologist.
Yes. So I just maybe give a bit more about what that means, so that at least to demystify.
I told you, yes.
Yes, so a clinical psychologist, basically the training focuses on understanding, not just merely understanding human behavior, but also on doing assessments. And from those assessments, then you're able to come up with what we call a treatment plan. You see, when you go to a doctor, they usually will first take your history or take your story, isn't it? And it's from that, then they're able to determine, am I supposed to take you, should you go to the lab for more tests so that we can be able to understand your problem, or just by merely listening to your story, they're able to pinpoint, this is the problem. And from that, then they administer the appropriate treatment, isn't it?
Wow.
So it's more or less the same thing.
So ni daktari lakini hatutadungwa sindano. So just feel relaxed, all right? Yeah, because tutapata matibabu lakini hakuna sindano. Najua hizo ndizo tulikuwa tunaogopa sana those times.
No, not these over here.
Thank you so much. Kindly give it up for doctor. Yes. Welcome. Yes, sir.
Thank you. I'm known by the name Dr. James K. And K is a name. It's a conveniently short name, short version of a name. A psychologist also, My colleague is in the clinical psychology. I'm in the counseling psychology, PhD in counseling psychology. And currently, I'm a lecturer. I train the counseling psychologists as well as the teachers who are going out there to implement the changes that are in the nation and actually face and try to solve the challenges that are there facing the students and the youth and also their parents in today's context.
Wow.
But besides that, I'm also a pastor.
Wow, wow, wow. One thing that I can promise you is that by the end of this episode, I'll also be a doctor. You know, is a doctor by association, right? I cannot associate with doctors and then be back bila kuwa daktari, si ndio? All right, so Dr. Mune, it will be. Now, tutakuwa tunazungumza hiyo maneno baadaye. Now, let me ask a question now before we come to the audience. What background would you give us in as far as mental wellness and mental health is concerned, especially among the young people?
I think you should go first, Mr. K, because you deal a lot with that population.
Thank you. Background for mental wellness. I want to touch on the precursor to wellness because, you know, before we come to deal with the wellness, it means there is unwellness, isn't it?
Yes.
But now before you get to unwellness, we want to start with the hygiene. Usafi tu. Yani kama kuna usafi wa mazingira, kuna usafi wa mawazo. Sasa usafi wa mawazo, we know that what goes into your mind, filtered through your ears, or what goes into you through the five senses affect you, whether by thinking, whether by feelings, whether by behaving. And vile tunasemanga ni kwamba what you think affects how you feel. How you feel determines your perception, how you see things. And how you see things is what now informs how you react to what you see. Now, that is called the response. And the response is what we see. And when we see it, we call it behavior. Now, you see, it started out there before it manifested, before it was seen.
Yes.
So mental hygiene is the positive way of dealing with or providing the conditions for ensuring that there is wellness. So we start with mental hygiene. What you think. No one, the Bible says, guard your heart above everything else. What you put in your mind, through what you watch, through what you hear, through what you eat. And then from there, it will make you to think positively. When you have positive thoughts, then when your mind is healthy, your emotions will be healthy, your behavior will be healthy, your associations and the relationships will be healthy, and the society will be healthy mentally, which also has implications for other areas of life.
Wow.
And maybe even just to pick on from what he's talked about, you see, we normally talk of as a human being, you have a spiritual angle to who you are. You have the biological angle to who you are. Then there's the social, and then there's the physical, right? So if we are talking about even wellness, all these areas must be well or must function as they were created to in order to ensure a holistic person or a person who is functioning as they should. So if any one of these aspects is affected, it will definitely have an impact on the function of the next. For example, if you're not spiritually okay, it means you won't be able to pray, you won't be able to, you know, do the necessary things that are required for you to sustain that. And as a result, then it has an impact, because if your spirit is strong, sometimes when you're having challenges, say for example, we go to the social, you're not connecting well with your family, you're not connecting well with your friends, probably even financially things are not okay, isn't it? So you see, if your spirit is not okay, and this is not also okay, right? So if your spirit was strong, when this is not functioning as it should, you see, this would hold you.
That is true.
Right?
Yes.
Then, now, if then you're talking about then now that is not functioning as it should, let's go to your physical. That's now has to do with your, maybe how you eat, sleep, right? So if things are not working well, you're not okay with your friends, you're not okay with your family and all that thing, it affects how you sleep.
Yes.
It affects how you eat, isn't it? Right?
So you have now poor sleeping habits, poor eating habits.
Exactly. Isn't it?
Yes.
So are you seeing how these are all very
so
much...
they are all interconnected.
Correct. Yeah.
So today we are dealing with the whole person here. So it is the whole being, right? Now, naona venye mmenyamaza. Venye mmetulia. Kwani now which are the issues that we are having, by the way? Kama vijana. What are some of these things that are leading to vijana ama mtu unakaa hivi unasikia hapana. Ni kama I'm not okay. Ni kama my congosity is not functioning as it should. But this become congosity kama ni English one will be finding out soon. Vijana, what are some of these issues that are leading to this mental health, the mental problems and depression and anxiety na hizo vitu zote among the youth especially? Yeah, let's have one person here. Yes.
I'm Margaret. For example, there are expectations from the parents or from your friends. Like one expect, like family members, one expect to be well off, uwasaidie, ukue na pesa, so one expect ukue ukiwasaidia. Then uko pale, you are hustling, mpaka kusurvive ni issue. So sometimes hiyo inaku affect because wewe unataka ukue kwa ile klasi ya juu na vile unapata pesa zako ama vile kazi yenye uko nayo iko chini. Sometimes inakupea kind of stress. Na I think sijui hiyo ndio sababu inafanyanga sometimes wanasema mtu unaenda unakunywa pombe because wanasema ukikunywa pombe una relieve stress.
Stress inaisha.
Kama kwa vipindi zingine tunaonanga nyingine inaitwa abuhi. Kama sasa hii in a current situation na kwa ina stress. So naona anaenda kukunywa pombe. Anaanza unasemanga hao ndio wanasema ukweli yote. So sijui hiyo bado ni ina relate.
That's quite a heavy one. Kwa sababu we are in a relationship. Tunarelate na wazazi. Na wazazi wako na expectations na sisi, right? We are in a relationship, mtoto na mzazi. Ama pia, you know, mtu na their brothers and their sisters, wote wanakuangalia juu. And then things are not working on this other side. Could that be a cause?
The society we are living today, most, if not a large part of the social functions are tending towards being dysfunctional. Wacha niongee Kiswahili. Kisungu changu wakati mwingi nakuanga kingumu.
Nimesikia hiyo Kiingereza ni ya kufundisha walimu, wapenda kufundisha nini? CBC.
Unikumbushe kwa sababu mimi pia I tend to go very English, sometimes naweza poteza watu.
Na kwa sababu hazitaki kupotea, wacha tuende kwa lugha yetu. Ndio hiyo sasa.
Nitakuwa najaribu kuchanganya.
It's all right.
Kwa sababu pia katika audience najua kuna wengine Kiswahili pia kinaweza kuwapa changamoto.
Yes.
Sasa nilikuwa nasema kwamba jamii tunayoishi kuna tatizo la socialization. Kitambo mababu zetu walikuwa wanafundishwa. Kila mmoja anajua mimi jukumu langu ni hili na jukumu la mke wangu ni hii, jukumu ya watoto ni hii, na kila mmoja anaweka katika huyo msingi. Naona sasa. Lakini kukawa na hali ya inaitwa globalization. Watu wakawa sasa wanaiga mifano ya wengine ambapo kwao inafanya kazi, huko haiwezi make. Naona sasa. Na ikafika wakati ikakuwa sasa siku hizi tunazoishi sio rahisi uone wazazi wanaketisha watoto wao na wanaongea, kwa sababu wao pia chances hawakuongeleshwa na mtu.
Yes.
Sasa ni sisi tukutane pamoja, tuishi, tupate watoto, bas kila kitu ita take care of itself.
Ma freelancers.
Hapo ndio shida iko. Kwa sababu gani? Siku hii ni vigumu sana kujua role ya hawa watu wote. Na wakati ujui role yako wewe, utaanza kulaumu mwingine kwa kutotimiza wajibu wako wewe mwenyewe.
Yes.
You are supposed to do this, you don't do it, and then you start passing it on there. It's a defense mechanism. Tunaitanga psychological ego defense mechanism. Kwamba hii naona inaniendea vibaya, lakini kwa sababu sitaki kukubali, nataka kuipitisha pale. Ni yule hakufanya.
Yes.
So shida iko hapo. Nilikuwa nakuja pale. wazazi, na kwa sababu natoka Kabarak pia. Kabarak tunafanya mambo mingi sana kwa mlengo wa Biblia. We teach in biblical perspective. We do all things in biblical perspective.
Yes.
So mtasikia sana na quote Biblia.
Which is very much okay.
And it is well.
Yes.
Sasa neno inasema hivi in Proverbs. A good parent, let me use that generic word. A good parent leaves inheritance for the children and the children's children. Now, for a long time, I thought it is properties and a lot of money and all this. Until I went back into scripture again and I saw that there's somewhere else where it is written, a good name is better than great riches.
Yes.
So then, the legacy is usually in the, nasema nini? Hiyo kukaishwa chini. Wakati nasema, mimi ni mwana wa fulani. Ni mwana wa fulani kwa sababu alikuzaa, ama ni mwana wa fulani kwa sababu ni msingi kwako. Kwa sababu kuzaa tu sio kazi inaishia pale. Hata wasiwa nasema kwamba kuzaa sio kazi kulea. Sasa aliyekulea ndiye anakuwekea msingi.
Yes.
Watoto wanazaliwa, wazazi wanaenda kuhaso, wanaachia watoto wale watu wako pale nyumbani kama ni house girl, house help pale. Alafu yeye anaenda, by the time anarudi anapata mtoto hana connection naye mara nyingine. Lakini let me not go into that direction first.
Yes.
What I wanted to say is this: the expectations are gradually getting inverted, if not already inverted. Alisema kwamba umemaliza shule, wazazi wanatarajia kwamba wewe uhaso ujikimu, alafu pia uhaso uwale. Are you seeing reversed roles?
Yes.
Wazazi wanalea, lakini kwa sababu ya maadili ya jamii, kwa sababu ya challenges za jamii, wazazi wanaona sasa tumaini letu liko hapa kwa mtoto. Na wakati mwingine mzazi hata jali mtoto anapata pato lake wapi, lakini unajua sasa nilikusomesha, sifai kuishi, nataka hii, nataka ile. Mtoto mwenyewe ama mwana hajaweza kujikimu yeye mwenyewe. Sasa katika mawazo yake akona stress za maisha yake. Akona stress ya mwenzake, kwa sababu katika maisha lazima pia upate mwenza. Alafu tena kuna pressure ya wazazi na ndugu zake wako hapa. Sasa hiyo inaongeza stress sana.
Yes.
Lakini tutarudi pale tulipoanzisha. Kuna kitu kimeharibika kati ya hizi vitu zote dadangu alitaja.
Yes.
Unaona? Because when we look at the person, sheria ya kwanza ambayo Mungu aliweka na Yesu akaja kufafanua, alisema kwamba wewe tafuta Mungu wako kwa moyo wako wote, kwa mawazo yako yote. Nitafuta kumjua Mungu. Maana katika kumjua utajitambua.
Yes.
Akasema sheria ya pili iko kama ya kwanza. Unapotafuta Mungu wako kabisa, jitafute wewe mwenyewe pia.
Yes.
Maana ukijua Mungu wako utajitambua. Ukijitambua utajipenda. Ukijipenda utakuwa na ability ya kupenda mwenzako. Maana utaona pia huyo anafanana na wewe. In psychology,
yes,
we call it existentialism. Kwamba wewe unajitambua.
Yes.
Unapojitambua sio kwa sababu huna shida, unatambua, unajikubali. Alafu sasa ndio uweze kutoka nje, you transact. It's a relationship.
So now, how do we get out of that problem? Kwa sababu it is a problem that we have in the nation, and it's a problem that is leading many people. Kama sasa, if you listen to what Margaret said, ni kwamba kuna wengine out of this pressure wanaenda kutafuta, hata wengine wanaingia kwa ulevi, ya unakunywa ndio usahau hizo shida. Mwingine labda anaingia kwa drug addiction na substance abuse, all those things. So how do we help this young person, this young man, this young girl, mwenye there's so much pressure, na ana feel ni kama my Congo state burst, ni kama akili yangu mimi nasikia it's too much. How do we help them out?
Nafikiri kuna jambo alikuwa anataka kuongezea.
Kuongezea vile anasema, unajua, just kuongezea vile daktari amesema, sababu ya vile hiyo fabric ama vile society iliharibika. Kwa hivyo unakuta sasa mtu amejikuta kwa role yenye hakuna mtu amemtayarisha. Sasa kama vile Margaret ametuelezea, umemaliza tu high school, unajua nini kuhusu maisha, unajua nini kuhusu, unajua kutengeneza ama kulea watu, familia na vitu kama hizi. Kwa sababu in a normal setting unafaa kupewa support, unafaa kuprepariwa na sort of tunaweza hata sema kuwa initiated in these roles. Sindio? Lakini kitu kama hiyo haiko, na ndio maana ukijikuta kwa hiyo role sababu of the reality of the situation, unajua akili yako haiko tayari na hauelewi na hauna anything to draw from. What do I do? Na anybody, the what do you call it? The logical thing for anybody when you're in pain, it's to look for a fix for that pain.
That is true.
Sindio? Na ndio unajikuta umejingiza kwa vitu. Anything that gives you relief, ama temporary relief. Unaona? Na so the thing that mimi naweza suggest kuongezea to what daktari amesema, it's very important kuelewa ya kwamba number one, hii maisha, you can't do it alone. You need a community, you need a society. And as at now, the same space, even for the youth kukua, ni in a church setup. Now, why should you be in that kind of a setup? Kwa sababu sasa hapa utakutana na wengine wenye more or less muna deal with the same challenge na the same issue. Na isitoshe, kwa sababu it's an organized structure, kuna watu wenye wako na more experience, more labda hata walipitia more or less the same thing, and they will be able kukushikilia na kukuhold na kukupatia guidance.
And there are others that have been given charge over you
that
already.
Is it. That is it.
Wow. Now, I think that deserves a lot of applause, right? Now, I see there is a lot that we have to learn here. Quite a lot. Simesikia hiyo maneno ni mzito. And I know that najua kuna watu wengi sana tunafunguka macho uko nje. So many of us there. And I want us to go for a short break. Yeah. By the time inakimbia hivyo. I want us to go for a short break. And of course, I know that we'll have many more questions after this short break. Because this is a Quench where you ask and we answer.
The Quench, where you ask, we answer.